hundreds of thousands of Yellow Jackets, this day has finally come. A day to celebrate and cherish, to congratulate one another, and to share with friends and family. And for the Institute, it is a day of honor and commemoration of the transformation from student to graduate. Today is Commencement Day at Georgia Tech. Good afternoon, Yellow Jackets, and welcome to McCamish Pavilion here in Atlanta, Georgia, on the campus of the greatest institute in the entire country, Georgia Tech. Can I get some round of applause for our soon-to-be graduates here? My name is Bryce Zimmerman, and I'm a part of the Georgia Tech Communications Department here. And what you are watching is Commencement Live. We're going to take you about 45 minutes from right now all the way up to the official start of the ceremony. And we're going to introduce you to some of the wonderful graduates that are going to be walking across this stage this afternoon. This is the Ramblin' Rec Desk. We're going to have interviews here, but we are also going to have some interviews down on the floor. And we have another member of our team, a current student who will be in this position not too long from now. Let's go over to Rebecca Wang.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Wang. I'm a fourth year aerospace engineering student, and I'm a student manager here on the Institute Communications team. And I'm capturing some of that excitement here on the floor today, also interviewing students. I'll be graduating next semester though, so I'll still be here. All right, Bryce, tossing it back to you.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Now, there are a lot of words in the Georgia Tech lexicon. It can be difficult, it can be challenging, it can be rewarding. But one word that we do not have, that is impossible.
You use aerospace every day. My phone knows where I am because we have launched a huge number of satellites into space, and we expect them to be accessible to us. It's curious to think about what people 20 years from now will just take for granted.
In the state of Georgia, aerospace is actually the #1 export for the state. And it's a #2 manufacturing industry. There are over 200,000 jobs in the state of Georgia that are related to aerospace engineering.
Whenever there is an aircraft engine working or being built, the students who are getting trained here are going to be the knowledge base for getting that done.
We're in the Bente's in combustion lab. We are in one of the high pressure test cells. As you can see, there's a pretty cool rig behind me. We have 4 high pressure test cells, and there's quite a number of combustion experiments that are currently happening here.
We work on the big commercial jet engines. We work on engines for supersonic and hypersonic vehicles. We work on rockets.
The scale of Georgia Tech aerospace is enormous. We really enjoy partnering with industry. They're getting our best students to look at their new ideas, they're getting our faculty to look at things, and we have a lot of resources and infrastructure to do research.
Boom Supersonics is a relatively young aircraft company, and their mission is to make supersonic civil transport accessible.
Boom is trying to re-commercialize supersonic flight. It's really cool to be a part of a project like that. One day anyone will be able to fly on a supersonic plane and go all over the world.
And it's going to contain the new engines that Boom is designing. Georgia Tech is working with Boom to develop, test, and evaluate the combustors for the Symphony engine.
It's incredibly rewarding to be able to work with companies that are really building the technology that people are going to use 5 and 10 years from now.
It's exciting to kind of be on the precipice of that and to think that this is going to be a major change when that happens. When I tell people what I get to do and tell them why I chose Georgia Tech, it's really because I have the ability to do experiments like this because we have this amazing facility. And being able to watch things light up and explode is pretty cool too.
It can be a lot of fun to watch things explode, and we know that. So we are back here on the Rec Desk. This is Commencement Live. Thank you for being a part of it. And we've got our very first student to talk to is Boomi Katarthur. And Boomi, you let's start off, since we weren't expecting that aerospace here on a computer science and LMC graduation day, but you actually interned at Delta, so it makes a lot of sense. Tell us about the internships you had both at Delta and Home Depot.
I sure did. I was a product management intern at both Delta and Home Depot. I loved both companies so much. They do so much for the city of Atlanta and Georgia in general, and I'm going to be going back to Home Depot, so that's really exciting.
And talk about Atlanta, this being the city center, Georgia Tech being here. You have the opportunity to work for some major companies.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, Home Depot is a big one. They're actually the sponsor of the FIFA World Cup this summer, so I hope I get to go there. But yeah, it's really great opportunities. I've always been really local, so hopefully I can, I've gotten a chance to stay in Atlanta, but hopefully I get a chance to venture out too.
And you were very active in your time here on campus. We'll talk about a couple of them, but the first one, you've got the stole here for the Ramblin' Rec Club.
Yes.
An opportunity to be around the Ramblin' Rec, to be on the football field. How did you get involved? Why did that appeal to you?
So actually, I was a camper for rec camp, and a lot of the counselors were in the Rambling Rec Club, and I kind of heard about it through that. And so I came out for recruitment my first year, and I joined and loved it ever since then. I love all the home games, cheering on our football team, and we've gotten to do so much on campus and really just spread joy every day, so it's been awesome.
All right, what's next for you after undergraduate ceremony here today? What are you going to be doing?
Tonight?
Not tonight. No. Let's keep that on the down low.
I'm staying for my master's, so I'll be back. Can't get rid of me just yet.
So staying for her master's. Thank you so much for joining us, Boomy. Who do you want to give a shout out to today?
My family's over there, and all of my friends that are graduating. Shout out College of Computing. Let's go.
All right, Boomy's bringing the excitement. We have got a lot of students that are very excited. Down on the floor where Rebecca is, let's go to her.
All right, we are here on the floor with actually two of my friends. I have Sebastian here. We met in an ECE class together, and he's going to be graduating with 2 degrees today, with a Spanish degree, and tomorrow in biomedical engineering. So, Sebastian, tell me about the most meaningful memory you've had on tech so far.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. The most meaningful memory that I've had is raising over $35,000 for suicide prevention for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Awesome, thank you. And last but not least, anyone you'd like to shout out in the crowd today?
Yeah, my parents are right over here, and I love them to death. They're Boricua Wepa!
Awesome, thank you so much, Sebastian. And now we're going to be interviewing my friend here, Selena. So Selena actually transferred from Clemson to here, Georgia Tech now. So Selena, tell me about your experience transferring over here.
Yeah, of course. So coming to Atlanta was definitely a huge change compared to Clemson, but I think being here allowed me to grow both academically and professionally, and also meet some of my best friends, which I'm extremely grateful for.
Okay, and anyone you'd like to shout out in the crowd today?
Yes, I want to shout out my parents and siblings and my family. I don't know where they are, but I'm really, really grateful.
Awesome, thank you. As graduates are now coming in, if you are taking pictures, snapping pics, anything like that, make sure to post it on Instagram and tag us at Georgia Tech. All right, Bryce, coming back to you now.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. I'm here with another one of our students, an economics major, soon to be graduate, Sam Barnett. Sam, you are no stranger, you got a big fan out there, but you are no stranger to commencement ceremonies because you're part of the chamber choir here at Georgia Tech, and you've sung at every single one since you've been a student. Is that true?
Pretty much since my second year, I think so. Yeah.
Bring that up a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pretty much since my second year. Pretty much every semester. We have a great relationship with all the AV people and the logistics people. So it's really great to always make these special days that much more special for people by performing for them.
And it's kind of hard to keep you on campus because chamber choir, y'all are going all over the place to perform.
Yeah, we are super lucky to have a very strong kind of student leadership culture in the ensemble. And so we go on student-led tours every spring break. I went on 3 to New York City, Boston, and Seattle. And in New York City, we actually got to perform at Carnegie Hall. So that was really amazing.
What is your favorite Georgia Tech song to sing?
I mean, you have to go with the classic, Ramblin' Wreck.
Yeah, we're going to hear that a little bit later on, and you're even going to do it with your robes on.
Yes, we will be singing at the very conclusion of the ceremony with robes on, some of our members, to kind of close us out tonight.
And you haven't just traveled inside the United States, you had the opportunity to study abroad in Oxford. What was that like?
I mean, going to Oxford, going all over Europe for that matter, was incredible. With my minor in city planning, getting to see all those different cities was just amazing, and of course the art and music and culture and all those sorts of things. So that was my first time outside the US, and meeting all the amazing people on that program, many of whom are still dear friends of mine today. It's incredible.
All right, what's next on the docket for Sam Barnett?
Next on the docket is I'm going to be taking a gap year to work in sort of local and state environmental policy, and then investigating various PhD and law programs with a focus in environmental work.
All right, who do you want to say hi to out there today? You already had one cheering you. Who do you want to say hi to?
Well, I think my mom was probably cheering me. So that is my family, of course, my sister who's a graduate of Georgia Tech herself, my grandmother at home, and of course all my friends who are watching, alumni friends. So yeah, thank you to all of you.
Sam is going to be joining a large contingent of today and tomorrow's graduates as part of our new alumni. And here's a message from our Alumni Association.
We are back down on the floor with one of my friends I met freshman year, actually. This is Anne. So Anne, tell us about what your favorite moments have been and some highlights throughout your time at Tech.
I had some really cool opportunities working as an engineer for Becton Dickinson. I also really loved working at Piedmont and my consulting group at CHOA. I couldn't have any of these opportunities without being here, so.
Awesome. And you actually founded an organization too, which is really cool here on campus at Tech. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So my club's name is Living Hope, and we address local and global crises. Every fall, we're going to have a winter food and coat drive, so be on the lookout for that.
And Anne here is actually a double major, pre-med and CS, so what's next for you?
I'm going to be doing my master's in modeling and simulation before med school, so.
Awesome, and last but not least, anyone in the crowd you'd like to shout out today?
I'd like to shout out my mom, my dad, my brother, Jeffrey, and you.
Awesome, thank you. We're now going back to the desk to Bryce to interview with more students.
How about that, Rebecca? You got your own shout out today. That's pretty cool. All right, we're back here with Kelly Collier, who is a computer science major. And Kelly, you're also kind of going to school in your backyard, an Atlanta public school student. Where did you go to high school, and what made you think Georgia Tech? I want to stay in Atlanta, and I want to get my degree from here.
Yeah, so I'm actually, I went to Westlake High School here in Atlanta, and I went to a lot of summer camps when I was in elementary school, actually, coding camps, and in those camps, I just loved the community and the educational component of Georgia Tech, and it really combined, computer science in general. It combined my love of just technical skills with problem-solving skills, so computer science was for me, Georgia Tech was for me, and I've loved it ever since I was young.
When you were here on campus, you had the opportunity to join the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi, and then worked your way into a president's role. What did you do? What were some of the initiatives that you had that you wanted to make sure you left your mark on the fraternity in Georgia Tech as a member of that?
Yes, so Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, I was the president of that org, and we really value achievement in every field of human endeavor. And what that really means is making sure every aspect of campus we're achieving. We just won Chapter of the Year. We also won the MPHC Step Show competition, and we're grossing over thousands of community service hours this year, past years, and we really just make sure to do a good job on campus.
What's your favorite memory from your time in the fraternity?
Definitely competing in our step show competition. This was my first and last time competing, and it was so fun just coordinating and unifying with my brothers, and it was just fun, all around fun.
Are you going to come back at homecoming? Because I know sometimes the alumni get involved in the step shows.
Yes, we love our homecoming tailgates, all the activities, so I will for surely be back here in Atlanta for homecoming.
Okay, you also were involved in SGA. What were some of the initiatives that you were working on with Student Government Association?
Yes, so this is my 4th year in SGA actually, and I served on the President's Cabinet as the Vice President of Operations. So I worked on a lot of recruitment and leadership activities, but my most impactful initiative would probably be establishing the SGA Black Caucus. And it was a committee of Black representatives in SGA dedicated to being the bridge between student government and administration and the Black community here on campus.
All right, now you've got something lined up for after graduation. Seems pretty cool. Tell us about it.
Yes, so I really want to focus on the government side of cybersecurity because I'm all about public service, being raised by 2 parents who both were public servants and in the justice system. I want to use my gifts of coding to, work for the government for cybersecurity.
All right, so you're headed to Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir, and yeah.
That's going to be a little bit, Atlanta Public School, then going to school at Georgia Tech. Have you been up to D.C. yet? Checked it out?
I actually have. I was just up there a month ago, actually, for a trip. I was able to tour all the monuments and everything like that, and it's really a cool place. It's a lot different from Atlanta, but it's still a cool place.
All right, who helped you along the way that you want to say hi to out there?
Yes, I would be remiss if I did not shout out my mom and dad who are in the crowd right now. They're wonderful, as well as my grandmother. I think I hear him up there. And my amazing girlfriend, she's also in the crowd. Another Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, actually getting her master's here right now. And my friends that are also CS majors in the crowds, and the entire college and computing as a whole.
That's one of the best shout outs that I think we've ever had on Commencement Live. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Kelly is doing what many Georgia Tech graduates are going to be doing, which is transforming the world that we live in. And of course, we have our campaign, Transforming Tomorrow, here at Georgia Tech, and that is transforming the lives of not just students, but the state of Georgia as well.
Our students are different.
The current students at Georgia Tech are the future of our world.
All they need is for someone to support them, and they can create whatever it is that the world needs for them to create.
We're the top source of STEM talent in America. We produce the most women engineers in America. We produce the most aerospace engineers in America. We have that local, national, global impact.
Georgia Tech really prepares you for that real world next step.
It gives me a ton of confidence to know that what I'm learning, I'm going to be able to apply. When I go to class, I know that the things that I'm going to be learning are beneficial, and so it makes me want to pay attention more. It makes me want to ask questions.
There's an emphasis on what you're doing with your scholarship. How are you involved in campus? How are you involved in the community? Being a leader is about what you're giving back. It's about investing in others.
Every student, no matter how bright and capable they are, they still need an opportunity to be a human being, not just a human doing. When we involve our broader Georgia Tech community, I think there's a really good opportunity to really make a meaningful, measurable change.
And if we give them the right tools and right resources, we know that our students really can change the world in a whole bunch of different ways.
It's going to be the grandchildren of the students that we're giving these opportunities that someday will benefit from all of this.
I am absolutely glad that I decided to come here.
Transforming Tomorrow.
The campaign for Georgia Tech.
Welcome back into Commencement Live here in McCamish Pavilion, where they usually play the basketball games, where we're going to have thousands cross the stage over the next couple of days. One of those right here with me is Harish Vishwanathan. And Harish, You are a computer science major, but you're also the president of Startup Exchange. How did that start, and what are some of the initiatives that you had?
Yeah, Startup Exchange is the largest student startup community. Shout out to everyone that I see in the crowd from Startup Exchange. And we started with the dream that we want to go against the status quo and really take risks and build startups here as students. We actually have our first office fully funded by ourselves across the Biltmore that all student founders at Georgia Tech can go and build at following the summer.
And you've been a speaker at ATL Tech Week, AI Atlanta. What were some of the subjects that you were getting out in front of people, the things that you wanted to make sure you represented and discussed with those crowds?
Yeah, the main thing I wanted to bring up is that Georgia Tech is a hub for innovation, and the students here are creating an ecosystem for startups. Everyone's going out to the West, going out to SF to build startups. I'm like, we can do that right here at home, and we're transforming the way we do that as a city.
And that's what Tech Square is all about right now, and that ecosystem here at Georgia Tech.
Exactly.
And you're doing something really cool. The World Cup is coming. It's going to be here this summer in Atlanta. What do you have planned?
So we're actually proud to be hosting Atlanta's hackathon during the FIFA World Cup, partnering with local companies and also other corporate sponsors. Really put on a show, showing the world that Atlanta is a tech hub, and we're really up next.
And up next for you, you have turned an internship into a full-time job. So where are you going?
Yeah, and so I'm going to be working as a founding AI engineer over at PrizePicks. And so right across the street, Georgia Tech startup. Super excited.
Yeah, very, very cool. And you said, please pronounce my name correctly, and I didn't, did I? Harish Vishwanathan.
Yes, that's
There we
correct.
go, I got it right. And Harish is wearing all sorts of different stoles. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, wait, shout outs.
Yes.
Do your shout out.
I got a couple actually. First of all, I want to shout out everyone in the Startup Exchange community and everyone taking a bet on themselves to go build a startup as their own and be their own founder after college. I also want to shout out one of my close friends, Jay, co-founder and CTO of PrizePicks, for taking a bet on me. And most importantly, I want to shout out my mom, my dad, sisters, and my best friend, Ria, for always supporting me and helping me build a community around here.
This is why I love Georgia Tech students. He's got the list right here on his phone, like, was prepared for the These are some of the best shout outs I think we've ever had on Commencement Live. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, he's wearing some regalia, and we're going to send this over to Rebecca. She's going to give you some more detail on some of the regalia you might see as students cross the stage.
All right, we're back on the floor now, and we actually found Michelle in the crowd because we were obsessed with your outfit, your stoles, your pin, and even your grad cap. So Michelle, walk me through everything, where you got them, and all that.
Yeah, okay, so starting with the pins, I'm not pointing because I cannot see them, but I have a pin for being a first-generation student. I am the first person in my entire family to go to college. I also have the roll call pin. This is from the Alumni Association. I have a pin for being, for my junior capstone, I did the VIP program. And then this pin is actually the original pin from my rat cap all the way those years ago. So, and then for my stoles is another first generation stole. And then this one's actually for being a Amazon future engineer. So this is a scholarship program done by Amazon. So I was able to be an Amazon software engineer intern for both my freshman and sophomore summer until I switched over to Microsoft. And then my most prized regalia is the cap that me and my mom made together. So it's this big bedazzled thing. And it took a while, and we finished an hour before we got here, but it was all worth it.
Awesome, thank you. I am really obsessed, so thank you for sharing with us today. Now, if you'll direct your attention back on the Jumbotron, we're featuring one of my friends, Hannah Michaela de Gracias.
Georgia Tech has been a dream school for me since I was probably in 5th grade. It's the only school I've ever really known and really aimed for. I wanted to transfer because I was given the opportunity through the liberal arts pathway. It's opened up so many opportunities. My name is Hannah Michaela de Gracias. I am graduating from a bachelor's in international affairs. I've had an interest in working in state government since probably middle school when I did the PAGE program with the House of Representatives. So I interned for the governor's office. I was a communications intern. So this was kind of more of an experience just to see what it's like behind the scenes and how content is produced, how press releases are made, kind of what goes on just backstage with the governor. And just getting to meet him has been It was very rewarding, very cool. Being part of Delta Phi Lambda kind of changed my life. It gave me so many leadership opportunities that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else, especially with being the president of the Multicultural Pan-Hellenic Council. What leadership taught me was to be flexible and adaptable to everyone's situations, and also being open to new experiences and new opportunities that necessarily wouldn't come to me if I was just sitting at a desk. What I would miss most about tech, I would say the campus. I would also miss the football games. I'm a huge sports fan, and I've been to every home football game in the past 2 years. I would especially like to thank my parents. They have given a lot for me to be here and be at this institution. I immigrated from the Philippines, and starting a new life here, especially for my parents, was very hard, but graduating is very rewarding.
All right, we are live on the floor with Hannah, and I get to call her my not only very good friend, but my sorority sister as well. So Hannah, tell us a little bit about the sorority that you're in.
Yeah, for sure. So I was in Delta Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated. I've been a member since fall 2023 when I crossed with my Alpha Gamma class. They've been the greatest community I could ask for. All of my closest friends have basically come from the sorority. I was also president of the Multicultural Pan-Hellenic Council, and that was just very rewarding to give back to the community that's given so much to me.
Awesome. And also you did a really cool internship at Governor Kemp's office as well. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, for sure. I worked in the communications department under the press secretary and director of communications. I got to work on drafting their social media announcements. Anything that got posted on the governor's Instagram or the first lady's Instagram was all me. I also got to draft a lot of the speeches that he would do at events.
Awesome, and I'm sure you have so much community here for you tonight. So who would you like to shout out in the crowd here?
I want to shout out my family, my parents, and my older brother actually over there, as well as my boyfriend. They've always shown up for me. They've been super supportive, and I couldn't be here without them.
Wow, they made a huge cardboard cutout of your face. Wow.
Yes.
All right, so we are now going back to the desk for a few more interviews. Bryce, you're up.
All right, thank you very much, Rebecca. I'm here now with a former editor of The Technique, which is the school newspaper here at Georgia Tech, Sonica Tank. And it's a little bit of a surprise maybe that you went into this field. You're an LMC major because your dad wanted you to go to tech, but
I did not want to be a CS major. Sorry, College of Computing. My dad is amazing. He wanted me to be a CS major more than anything, but I rebelled against that a little bit, and I followed this path of journalism and LMC here at Tech.
And it's just fitting that you're graduating with the College of
Yeah, that was a little
well.
Unfortunate.
But at the Technique, we were just talking about like some of the great memories are kind of being with the crew and putting together the paper. But what are some of the cool things that you got to cover? Because Georgia Tech being in the center of Atlanta, there's a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. We've gotten to put together some amazing pieces on all the things that Georgia Tech has been working on over the past few years, covering the openings of the George Scheller Tower building. We got to pitch into a little bit of election coverage back in 2024. It's just been a really great learning experience and something that I'm going to miss really dearly.
So the mass media field has called to you. You had the opportunity to work with CNN. Tell me where you got to go and what you got to do, because this is so cool.
I got to travel with a couple of great other girls from the LMC and CM programs, and we traveled to Abu Dhabi in 2024 to do a breaking news simulation with CNN. It was so cool. It was my favorite memory from college, and just a great group of people and a great experience.
All right, so what is next for you? I know you want to stay in that media field.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm headed to New York later this month. I'm going to be a page at NBC. I'm going to be working with their news groups there, and I'm going to be sort of in an ambassadorial role for them. I'm really excited about it.
Do you know where you're staying yet in New York?
Absolutely not. If anyone's got a sublet they want to give up, let me know.
All right, who do you want to say hi to out there?
Huge shout out to my family, my friends, all the people in the LMC program. Anybody who just dares to do something a little bit different.
All right, that is Sonica. Thank you so much for joining us. And you know, one thing that's going to be very newsworthy, we've mentioned it a couple of times already, the World Cup is coming to Atlanta, and you might have the opportunity to stay at Georgia Tech.
Here at the Daniel Guggenheim School of Aerospace Engineering, we graduate more aerospace engineers than any other school in the United States. I think we can figure this out. We have the full capability to test fluid behavior over any object. This will allow us to determine which flavor of Pop-Tarts is the most aerodynamic in its journey from plate to mouth, thus increasing the likelihood for a pleasant eating experience. I'm encouraged by the results. Hey, you can't take those! Mascots.
Every person eats Pop-Tarts in a different way. Some breaks in half, some eat the crust first. We wondered, does this affect how Pop-Tarts taste? Maybe the aroma of the filling or the scent of broken frosting alters the flavor profile. We can use our surgical robot to make precise cuts to test this. What are you doing?
Taste truly is in the brain, and taste buds detect chemicals and trigger nerve signals that travel along cranial nerves. And the brain really combines those tastes with smell and texture and temperature to create that rich experience that we feel in our mouths. I feel confident that our lab will be able to definitively answer the question that we all want to know. Which Pop-Tarts flavor is truly the best? Unfortunately, just before we were about to solve this mystery, all of our test Pop-Tarts just vanished.
All right, commencement is starting very soon, but right before that, we just have a few more students to feature. Here we have Shreya, who will be graduating with her degree in computer science, and like many other students, she was out of state just like me. So Shreya, tell me about your experience kind of coming in out of state and finding your community here.
Yeah, I'm originally from Herndon, Virginia, and knew no one coming into tech. And I've been so lucky to find an amazing community and so many wonderful friends who really made tech a home away from home.
All right, and any cool moments or organizations that you were part of here at Tech that you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, I was a part of GT Ramlin Ras, a dance team for my first few years here, and was also involved in Hindu Yuva, where I founded and started teaching a Sanskritam language club on campus and have found amazing communities through those too.
All right, last but not least, anyone in the crowd or not in the crowd that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, first and foremost, definitely my parents who are over there, and all my extended family, my best friend Samhita, who is here from Florida, and congrats to everyone who's graduating, and also my brother Arush, who couldn't be here today.
Awesome, thank you so much. We're gonna get a few more people to interview. Bryce is gonna be interviewing them.
All right, thank you very much, Rebecca. And sorry I tossed it to the wrong package there, everybody. We'll get to the soccer stays in just a little bit. I hope you enjoyed the Pop-Tarts. I'm with Pranav Aluru, who is a computer science major, and you had a little bit different experience than most of your computer science compatriots because your dad is the associate dean of the College of Computing. Were you under a little bit more of a microscope?
A bit. Actually, when I first moved in as a freshman, he could see my dorm out of his window. So in some ways, I still had to sneak out if I wanted to go anywhere.
So he knew whether you were studying or not studying?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you had the opportunity to do a really cool internship at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory. It's in discrete math, which I know nothing about, but climate solution models. What does any of that mean? Because I have no clue.
Well, you know all about climate change, right? So Oak Ridge is a place where a lot of wonderful, amazing researchers come together and tackle big government issues, climate change being one of those. It was an amazing experience to just work in a purely academic setting, in a place with so much history. Like they have the first graphite nuclear reactors there as well, which I got to take a tour of, which was very cool. So it was an amazing experience.
All right, so what's next for you?
Next, I'll be heading down to Austin to work at AMD with their ROCm platform. And then I'll be returning to GT for my master's in 2027.
All right, so Dad's going to be right over your shoulder again. Maybe you feel like because you've got this degree, you've earned a little bit of separation?
Yeah, little bit, just a little bit.
Who do you want to say hi to?
Big shout out to my mom and dad. You know, they've always been very supportive, amazing. They're both academics as well. My brother is here as well with his wife, and my cousins who drove all the way down from Sewanee to be here for me. And a big shout out to my grandma as well, who climbed these steps for me, even though I'm sure it was hard.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Pranav, computer science major, going to walk across this stage. And now it is time to tell you about how you can stay at Georgia Tech during the World Cup. All right, thank you very much for coming back with us. We are just moments away from beginning commencement here at Georgia Tech, the first of 3 undergraduate ceremonies where thousands of Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will get their degree and then enter into the world. We've got one more student to talk to you, and we're going to introduce you to him with a video. It's Jake Ricks, who has got a family full of Yellow Jackets.
As a kid, I thought Georgia Tech was just the coolest place. I mean, right here in the heart of Atlanta with all the buildings surrounding you. My name is Jake Ricks, and I am studying international affairs with a minor in film and media studies, and I am the 7th person in my family to graduate from Georgia Tech. Some of my earliest memories were going to football games with my siblings, and then, you know, when my first oldest sister went to Tech in '07, visiting her at college, and then all my other siblings, visiting them and seeing them at the games and in their dorms. It was really, really awesome. There was definitely some pressure from my parents to go to Georgia Tech, but that's partly just because they valued education. And Georgia Tech is one of the best schools in the South, the best school in Georgia. What it means to be a Yellow Jacket to me is collaboration with peers. Through all my years at Tech, one common denominator that I've seen with classmates and peers is just that they're also willing to collaborate with you and work hard. And, you know, one of the school mottos is progress and service. And you really see that in, I think, every single student at Tech. What I'll miss most about Georgia Tech is sitting in the student section at the football games. There is nothing quite like it. Some of my best memories were in the student section with friends and just doing all the songs and the dances and standing on your feet the whole game, and just something really magical about that. And I think I'll miss that the most.
Jake, there is no other family here that can say they have more Yellow Jackets in their family than you. You have 11 people in your family, and 7 of them have graduated from Tech. So how is it like sharing that experience with your siblings?
It's honestly really, really cool. I think it's probably super unique for any school, and especially for a school like Georgia Tech that's just so prestigious. I think it's really special, and I've really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And during your experience at Tech, you were actually a film and media studies minor as well. So how has that enriched your time at Tech?
It's been awesome. I've always had such a passion for movies and TV and the filmmaking process, and switching and getting a minor in that has been so awesome, so fun, so many great professors, and I've learned so much. It's been great.
Now, I know you have a lot of family watching you, but only 5 here in person, but we want you to shout out everyone. So who would you like to shout out?
I want to shout out my oldest sister, Margaret. She's an alum. She's here supporting me. My older sister, Haley, also an alum, here supporting me. My father, also an alum, here supporting me. My mom and my fiance, Haven, all here.
Awesome. Now we are very, very close to graduation. We're going to pass it to Bryce. He's going to teach you what you need to do when you go onto the stage.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. So we've got to go over a couple of more things here for all of our students. All right, Yellow Jackets, we're very, very close to starting. but we have a couple of things. We're going to walk you all the way through the stage party. Before we get there, there's 2 things you need to do. The first one is go ahead and get out your grad pass on your phone, all right? Get your grad pass ready. And what you want to do is take a screenshot of that grad pass so you've got it in your photo library. And what you'll want to do is when you are called to move up and walk through, one of our great people will come up to you, get your lineup, whoop, and then you'll walk down here. You'll take a photo. You'll get your grad pass ready. Here is a pro tip. Put your screen brightness all the way up when you get to this spot. It's going to be much easier for the next step. And as you walk through and you get lined up, you'll have the opportunity to have your grad pass scanned, and you'll hear a little beep boop. Beep boop is good. Beep boop is great. If you do not hear beep boop, do not panic. You're still fine. Step to the side, and some of our lovely representatives will help you get sorted out. You're still going to walk. So if you've heard beep boop, then you'll continue to follow into the line. And as you move through the line, there'll be people here to walk you forward. They'll hold you right about here, and then you will get your opportunity. They tell you to go. You walk up here, you'll have the chance to shake Angel Cabrera's hand. Boom, right there. Peace and love to grandma back home. Then down here, this is where your dean will be. You can give him a hug if you like him, a high five if you kind of like him, or just walk right past him if it's been a tough couple of years. Then move down, and this is where you get your photo opportunity. You'll walk through here. They'll send you in a little bit of a line. You'll move through, all the way through. You've got your cue on where to stand. Right here, smile, take your picture. You're going to look great. And then you return back to your seat. Okay, so that is the process here. We are just a couple of minutes away from starting. We've got Rebecca over here who's going to be doing this in just a little while, but you have been at a lot of commencements over the years now. What is your favorite part?
I think my favorite part is seeing all my friends come through and graduate. Even though it's not me this year, all the people that I've interviewed so far, they've all been my friends, and it's really, really special for me to say that I've made so many memorable friends here at Tech. So, yeah.
I think my favorite part is when Buzz photobombs us, but he's over there doing his thing. So
he's always in the camera.
He's always, and you can't keep him away. All right, it is now time to begin commencement. For those who have worn the white and gold, the brave and bold, your commencement starts now. Let's have a hell of a Thursday evening, everybody.
Welcome to Georgia Tech Commencement. Students, please rise for the faculty processional.
Good evening and welcome. Buenas noches, bienvenidos. Please rise and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
He can do math too, by the way. Please be seated. Thank you, Jai. Amazing. My name is Angel Cabrera, and I have the privilege of serving as Georgia Tech's president. Before we get started today, I would like for us to take a moment to recognize all veterans, active duty members, and first responders. If you have served in any branch of the U.S. military or have served as a first responder, please rise so we can thank you for your service. Thank you. So graduates, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, family and friends, my heart is full as I welcome you to the 270th commencement exercises at the Georgia Institute of Technology. It's a true pleasure to be together in celebration of these amazing graduates and their academic achievements. We have a few special messages for you today. The first one is from one of our graduating students. I'm pleased to introduce Esha Venkat, a bachelor's degree candidate in public policy, who will give the student reflection. Thank you so much.
Good evening, students, professors, families, and friends. Before anything else, I'd first like to thank my amazing family for believing in me since literally day zero, and to all of my friends and professors who made the Flats feel like home. I would not be standing here without any of you. As a soon-to-be Ivan Allen College grad, yes, we do exist. Woo! I see you back there. I am so proud, humbled, and honored to stand here representing the absolutely incredible graduating class of 2026 as we celebrate this huge milestone. Congratulations to all my fellow graduates. Come on, do it with me. We made it! Woo! And soak it all in, because it's pretty remarkable considering how it all started. We had our first year convocation right here in McCamish, wearing those shiny yellow rat caps, looking around at 3,000 strangers, pretending we knew what the next 4, or 5 or 6 years would hold. Right here, President Cabrera told us something important, that we were Yellow Jackets. But I know a lot of us walked out of this very room with absolutely no idea of what that meant. Is it a bee? Is it a piece of clothing? And what's the deal about this guy running around campus named Buzz? To all the parents and guests here who were just as confused as we were, don't worry, I looked it up. So the yellow jacket, or the Vespula squamosa, is scientifically speaking a wasp. It's small, deceptively small, with no armor, no claws. Nothing that should make it intimidating. Well, except for one thing. When a honeybee stings, it loses its stinger. That's the end. But when a yellow jacket stings, it can sting again and again and again and again, and survives every single time. Class of 2026, sound familiar? Because if we're gonna be honest, Georgia Tech stung us a lot. A lot. Yet still, we made it through every 11:59 p.m. deadline, every CRC visit at 5 p.m., and every Culk night that turned into a Culk morning. We survived every last-second sprint to catch the Stinger bus, Bobby Dodd heartbreak, and a GT construction project that had its own 4-year plan, or 5 or 6-year plan. We faced things we didn't think we could handle, and we handled them anyway. Again and again and again. Because that's what being a yellow jacket is. But the thing is, jackets don't sting alone. They build something together. Their nest, which if you've ever seen one up close, you haven't because you ran, it's an architectural marvel. Interlocking chambers, each one connected. That's this room. Ivan Allen and the College of Computing. From the outside, they might not look like natural neighbors. But spend a couple years here and you realize that we were always asking the same questions. How do systems work? Who do they serve? And the world we're about to enter needs all of us in the same room, working towards our shared mission of progress and service. So the question isn't whether we're ready, it's what nest we're going to build together. And as our future may seem uncertain and overwhelming at times, I want you to remember what it means to be a yellow jacket. We don't stop at one, we don't leave the stinger behind. We're gonna sting for years to come with our policy briefs and our product launches, our arguments and our algorithms for everybody in this room and for everybody who never got the chance to be. We go again and again and again. So class of 2026, my seniors, my friends, are you ready to show the world what a yellow jacket can do? Thank you.
Thank you, Esha. So one of the things that happens today is that you are about to join the impressive family of Georgia Tech alumni. This is a community of leaders, innovators, thinkers, doers, who are making a difference in every corner of our state and around the world. Many of them are here today to celebrate you. The alumni in your family, those of you who have alumni nearby, probably appreciate what you've accomplished better than anybody. Some of them may be the reason why you're here. So before we continue, I want to ask all alumni joining us today in the audience to please stand so we can recognize you. That's awesome. I love it, love it. Lots of repeat customers among the families today, love it. So now to formally welcome you into the Fellowship of Georgia Tech Alumni, I'm pleased to introduce Dean Sheehan, management graduate from the class of 1991 and the president of the Georgia Tech Alumni Association. Dean?
Thank you, President Cabrera. Great to be with you all tonight. As a fellow Yellow Jacket, I have to say it gives me great pride, graduates, to say that you are now a member of one of the most powerful and coveted networks in the world, the Georgia Tech Alumni Association. You are alumni now, along with 227,000 of your now newest, closest Tech family friends. Growing up, I remember I used to hear a phrase, and I didn't exactly know at the time what it meant. I would hear, the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. Now, as soon as I got to Georgia Tech as a student, like many of you, I knew exactly what that meant. And I know that you have felt that same thing, and I'm so proud for you, again, to graduate and to earn that coveted degree. And again, it's a degree that is highly regarded across the globe. You know this, and if you don't yet, you're going to find it out no matter where you travel. It is now yours, and we at the Alumni Association share in your pride of that accomplishment. And while we as Yellow Jackets are unique as individuals, we do share some traits from our time at Tech. See if you can relate here. What do we share? We share the ability to problem find, to problem solve, and to persevere. And so, when we work together to take on life's biggest challenges, we can. And when we set out together to change the world, we will. And when we join together to make a difference, we do. Now, one of the biggest ways that you can make a difference is through what we call roll call. And for now 80 years, the Georgia Tech Fund for Excellence has positively impacted and influenced current and future students. Maybe some of you are aware of it. You may notice graduates who are wearing the roll call pin on their regalia today. I say thank you for that. I see a number of you out there, and we thank you for that. Those students have already given to roll call to support the students that are coming behind you, as well as the Transforming Tomorrow campaign. So we're grateful for your support. And with that, what else do we share? We share the value of community. We talk about community a lot in the Alumni Association. No matter where you go, you will find other Yellow Jackets along the way waiting to open doors for you. About 2 weeks ago, friends, we had 95 locations across the globe in one single night where Yellow Jackets were gathering. So wherever you may travel, we're there for you. I would say to you that the only thing more powerful than your degree are the relationships that you made here and that you'll take with you. Many of those friends are sitting right there with you this evening. We encourage you to get involved in your Alumni Association. We hope that you will. We're going to provide you with job leads, networking opportunities, events on campus, events in locations wherever you may go, as well as those future friendships. So, Georgia Tech, you're now part of what I call, by the way, the permanent constituency. Okay? Georgia Tech will always be your home. The Alumni Association wants to be with you for a lifetime. So I say welcome to the family, and go Jackets.
Thank you, Dean. So, as a graduate of Georgia Tech today, you may reach the wrong conclusion that the learning is over. I'm here to warn you, it's only started, but we're here to help. So you know this past year we launched the College of Lifetime Learning. Well, the College of Lifetime Learning, which is committed to making sure that people have what they need to keep growing throughout their lives, has launched an experiment this year. In fact, we're announcing it today. It's called Georgia Tech Infinity. It will be a subscription. Think about your Netflix for learning. And because you're our beta testers, you're going to get it for free. So, yes. So I know you'll take a few days off, but once you start missing the learning and the curiosity, we got you covered. So this weekend, we celebrate the graduation of 7,129 very special people. We're awarding over 3,000 bachelor's degrees, over 3,000 master's degrees, and 226 doctoral degrees in this very spring semester. The bachelors that we honor today represent 64 countries in every county in our state almost. Together, if you think about it, the talent that we have here in the room, together they know how to build satellites and robots, they know how to build bridges, how to come up with new medical devices, they know how to create and run businesses. They know how to shape better policies. They're versed in chemistry, and biology, and psychology. They can mine intelligence from complex data. They understand how markets and governments work and what our collective history teaches us about our future. These young people right here have traveled the world. They can communicate in dozens of languages. They have learned to listen to others, to respect what others have to say, even when they disagree, especially when they disagree. They have learned to work with and learn from people who are different from themselves. And for all those reasons, I am extremely hopeful about the future. But for all of this potential to make a difference, there is something that you need to remember. And Esha made a reference to it. Those are the two words on our seal, progress and service. These two words define us as a community. They signify our belief in the power of innovation and ingenuity to serve a greater purpose, to improve the human condition. We don't believe in technology for its own sake, but because of its potential to help people live better lives. I know some of you are headed to well-established companies and you will help them do better. Others, increasingly, more of you will create your own startups. Some of you are bound to careers in academia or in government. Some of you are staying at Georgia Tech for more. I know you will be successful whatever you choose, but I want you to remember that your true success will not be measured by how much money you make in your next chapter, but by the value that you create for others. Now, don't get me wrong, money you will make. And I know the statistics, some of you will make a lot of it. And when you are rich and famous, my friend Dean here knows where you live. And he and I will plan a trip to visit you and remind you where you went to school. We'll bring the photo of a beautiful building that can have your name on it. So nothing wrong with that. But seriously, at the end of the journey, what will make you proud, what will make your family, your friends proud, all of us proud, is what you did to lift others up, to make a difference in our world. So no pressure, but as we like to say around here, we can do that. I know you can. Today we celebrate your accomplishments, your potential, and I'd like to thank you in advance for the great things I know you're going to do. Now, joining us here in person and online are family members, friends, colleagues whose love and support have helped make this day possible. And these yellow jackets in front of me know perfectly well they wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. And for that, I want to thank all of you, each one of you. Thank you for what you've done for these amazing young people. Now, we must also thank the faculty and staff members who've guided and mentored the students, offering time, wisdom, and expertise to help all of you reach your full potential. Among them, I'm honored to introduce some members of our leadership team who are joining me here on the platform. Please hold your applause as they stand when I call their names. We have Tim Lewin, our Executive Vice President of Research, Ron Johnson, Senior Vice President, and some of you did not listen to my instructions, but it's a free country, applaud away. Srinivas Saluru, Senior Associate Dean, College of Computing. Olufisayo Mojokun, Associate Dean, College of Computing. Richard Utz, Senior Associate Dean, Ivan Allen College. John Lyon, Chair of Modern Languages. Richard Bark, Associate Professor in Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts. And he's brought his fan club with him. Mickey Fabry, Director of Undergraduate Studies. Donnie Woodbury, Director of Undergraduate Programs. Lisanne Stefano, Executive Director of Seismic. Leslie Sharp, Dean of Libraries. Larry Jacobs, our Executive Vice Provost for Education. Stephen Girardo, Vice Provost, Undergraduate Education. You have Rick Clark, Vice Provost of Enrollment Management. Amy Henry, Associate Vice Provost of International Education. Lolo Hong, Vice President of Student Engagement and Wellbeing. Dean Stein, our Dean of Students. Abigail Tumpy, Vice President, Institute of Communications. Danette Jocelyn Gall, General Counsel. Kim Toadley, our CFO. And Jim Hall, Vice President of Development. Thank you all. Now you can applaud, all of them. Thank you. So I know some of you may not believe this, but we are fully aware of what we've put you through. We know the obstacles that you had to overcome over the past few years, and we really congratulate you for what you've done to cross the finish line. As you know, I've played several different roles at Georgia Tech over the years. I've been a student, of course, now an alum, a parent, an advisor. Now I serve as president. I even found my wife, Beth, who's with us today here. So I know very well that being a Yellow Jacket is something exceedingly special. A Georgia Tech diploma, as you heard from Dean, is something you'll treasure for the rest of your life. It will be transformative. It was for me, like it was for so many students throughout the generations. And I can proudly say that nothing that has happened in my life would have been possible without what Georgia Tech gave me, the people I met here, what I learned here. So now it's your turn. You are now forever, you're stuck with us, okay? You're now forever connected to Georgia Tech. And we cannot wait to see the great things you will do. Now it is time to look ahead, to push forward, to go out and make an impact on the world like only Yellow Jackets can. Congratulations, class of 2026. And I have a treat for you. We invited an amazing speaker, amazing Georgian, amazing patriot, and a dear friend, United States Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. Senator Warnock, and you may know some pieces of his story, he was raised in public housing in Savannah, Georgia. He earned his undergraduate degree from Atlanta's historic Morehouse College, becoming the first person in his family to graduate from college. He then went on to earn 2 master's degrees and a doctor of philosophy in systematic theology from the Union Theological Seminary. And yes, he's getting a pass today to wear the colors of the seminary, red and black. He's the only person who gets a pass today, okay? He has been awarded 10 honorary doctorates from institutions across the country, including his alma mater, in recognition of his leadership and public service. Since 2005, Senator Warnock has served as senior pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, the spiritual home of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. He was elected Georgia's first black senator in 2021, and he since has championed legislation to cap the cost of insulin for seniors, invest in students and the workforce, address maternal mortality crisis. He has secured more than $265 million for Georgia historically black colleges and universities, more than $17 billion in total for HBCU campuses across the country. And he has successfully fought to secure $138 billion in student debt relief for more than 4 million Americans. Senator Warnock continues to use his moral voice in the Senate to deliver for Georgians. He has a strong voice, but I'll tell you, one of the things he always does is he has time for us. Anytime we need his help, he's there for us. When I go to the Capitol, and I know being a senator is a very, very busy job, he always will make fun time to see us and to ask, what can I do to help? And we appreciate you very much for that, sir. Please join me in welcoming Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Means the world that you're here.
Thank you. Well, good evening, Georgia Tech. What's the good word? And here I was looking for a Bible verse. It's great to be here. I want to thank your amazing president, Dr. Cabrera. Give him a great big round of applause for that. introduction. So grateful for his leadership. And Georgia Institute of Technology, thank you so very much. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for this great honor. I'm always happy to do everything I can to deliver for the people of Georgia and for the Georgia Tech family because you deserve it. And you have contributed and continue to contribute so much to our great country. Today is a high day. We stand on the mountaintop. But I always like to remind students that while graduation may represent the end of this phase of your matriculation, commencement, by definition, is not the end. It is the beginning. You have crossed the river, but the ocean lies ahead. In the words of Robert Frost, penned more than a century ago, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. I want to thank not only your president, but this amazing faculty. What is an institution without its faculty? Come on, students, give the faculty a great big, everybody, give the faculty a round of applause. So grateful to the staff, the people you see, the people you don't see, but who keep the lights shining bright and facilitate the work. Grateful to board members, alums. Let's hear it for the parents and grandparents. Your names are on these degrees, but there are a lot of hands on those degrees. This is the village that makes it possible. Last but certainly not least, let's take a moment and really, I mean really celebrate the future. Let's hear for the mighty class of 2026. Come on, let me hear you, 2026. We all have reason to rejoice. The future is unfolding before our very eyes. I mean it when I say you give us all hope. There were difficult days to get here, but you are here. It took grit. It took immense effort. It took sleepless nights. There were days when perhaps you felt like giving up, but you kept going and you kept the faith. You did not allow yourself to get lost in a sea of despair. You remained hopeful. You found a way to make a way out of no way. That's what we say often in my church and in my church tradition. Sometimes you got to make a way with God's help out of no way. All of us are here, but it took some a little bit more just to get here. I speak from experience. I stand here as a member of the United States Senate, but I'm the first college graduate in my family. I'm number 11 out of 12. Clearly my folks read the Bible, be fruitful and multiply. But I decided as a kid growing up in the Caton Homes housing projects of Savannah, Georgia, that my parents' income did not need to determine my outcome. But the year I went to Morehouse College right up the street, the tuition room and board at Morehouse College was more than my family's annual income. But I decided I just wanted to be there because that's where Martin Luther King Jr., Georgia's greatest son, attended Morehouse, and I wanted to be there at that school. I didn't know one day I'd be the pastor of the church. God always dreams a dream bigger than the one we've been dreaming for ourselves. But I remember the day my parents dropped me off. I should tell you that my folks are both Pentecostal preachers. They spoke to us all the time in King James English. My mom would say, "Thou shalt wash the dishes, lest I smite thee with my rod and my staff." And I turned to my parents, and I asked my dad, I needed a few dollars to get started. My dad was very generous, God bless his memory, but things were tight. He didn't have any money to give to me, and so Dean, he looked at me and he spoke to me in King James English. He said, "Silver and gold hath I none, but such as I have give I unto thee." Who speaks like that? "God be with you, son." And he put his arms around me, and my mom put her arms around me. They gave me a great big hug, and then they got in the car and drove off into the horizon and left me standing there. And there were guys there who hadn't been to the first class, and they were already, if you've met Morehouse men, they were already dressed in suits, looking like they were working on Wall Street. Some of them were driving by in their fancy cars. Well, 4 years later, some of those guys in those fancy cars were driving by the stage, but I was standing on the stage getting my degree because I knew that my parents' income did not have to determine my outcome. And the thing that keeps me up at night as a voice for Georgia, as a parent, as a citizen, as a senator, is the recognition that it would be harder now for me to accomplish what I did as a kid growing up in the 80s than it was back then. And so that's something that we've got to fix. We've got to make sure that every child has a chance. The God I know raises up genius and talent and intelligence all over town, all over the world, on both sides of the railroad track. It's not about where you start, it's about where you're going. All of us have something to contribute, and we ought to create a world where every child can live up to their highest potential. That's not just good for them, that's good for all of us. And so today is a happy day. And so, class of 2026, stand up. I didn't mean literally, but since you're standing up, they really do follow instructions. Please be seated. I think they're ready to get out of here. So let me defy Baptist gravity and be relatively brief. I love this theme of progress and service. You've passed the test. You've done the work. But now we're counting on you to build what Dr. King called the beloved community. There are those in our country right now who are trying to divide us because people who have no vision traffic in division. They don't know how to lead us, and so they're trying to divide us. Here's what I offer to all of us, no matter your politics, and I mean it, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, red, yellow, brown, black and white, rich and poor, wherever you come from, we've all we got. There's something magnificent about that American creed, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. That's the future. And we don't have time to be divided. We don't have time for this bigotry and xenophobia. It is in our enlightened self-interest to figure out how to live together in this world and how to get along in this country and how to make sure we have a planet that is worthy of our incredible children. That's in all of our enlightened self-interest. And so we're counting on you to do that work. We've got many challenges in front of us. At Georgia Tech, I think especially about the promise and the perils of AI. I met a couple of days ago with AI leaders and creators from all of the various companies, and they were laying out how quickly this thing is changing every day. We've got to make sure that it emerges in such a way that it is more helpful than hurtful. Implications for the labor market, implications for privacy, our national security, a whole range of things. We need our best and brightest who have not only been trained in head, but they've been tuned in their heart to do the right thing, to recognize that at the end of the day, we need each other. And so, God bless all of you. Congratulations on this incredible achievement. I do hope with your president that you will go out, some of you at least, and make a whole lot of money and give back to Georgia Tech. But always remember in the words of Benjamin Elijah Mays that you make a living by what you get. You make a life by what you give. It's not simply about your education, it's about your vocation. The issue is, what are you going to do with all that you have received? And I hope that if you haven't already figured it out, that you will begin to discern your own life's project. Your life's project, that's bigger than a career, your life's project. And I submit to you that your life's project ought to be larger than your lifespan. If your life's project can be accomplished in your lifespan, it is too small. You ought to take on something that's so big that at the end of your life, you'll have to pass it on to somebody else to finish it. On behalf of humanity, and on behalf of what Dr. King called the beloved community. And so Dr. King, who sat in these seats many decades ago, understood that he needed to make his education work for something. And I'm thinking a lot these days about the fact that through his activism and through the work of just ordinary people, we pushed our country closer to its ideals. And when they passed the civil rights movement, the civil rights bill, into law, Dr. Cabrera, Dr. King, and others went to see President Johnson. And President Johnson was proud that they had passed the civil rights bill into law. And Dr. King said, great, we've got that civil rights bill, and without even missing a beat, he said, I'm glad we got the civil rights bill. Now we need a voting rights bill. He said, I need a voting rights law. And President Johnson began to say, I can't get that passed right now, I don't have the power. And they left the meeting and the staff was feeling all demoralized and dejected, and they began to say, what are we going to do, Dr. King? The president said he doesn't have the power to give us voting rights. At that time, by the way, as you look at me as a United States Senator, there were 77 black people in political office throughout the whole country. I'm not just talking about in the capital of the United States, all over the country. 77 black people were in office prior to the Voting Rights Act. And so they left the meeting and they began to say, what are we going to do? The president said he doesn't have the power. And Dr. King said, well, if the president doesn't have the power, I guess we're going to have to go and get him some. And so when you see John Lewis crossing that Edmund Pettus Bridge, know that he understood that it's not about the people in power, it's about the power that's in the people. And he kept crossing that bridge with brute force under the color of law on the other side of that bridge. He had no reason to think that he could win, but he kept on walking. And so I dare you, mighty class of 2026, if you see something wrong in the world that needs to be corrected, I dare you to keep walking. Even if you don't have it all figured out, I dare you to keep on marching. I dare you to keep on speaking up. I dare you to keep on showing up. I dare you to insist that your voice will be heard, because your vote is your voice and your voice is your human dignity, and everybody deserves a chance to be heard. So to everyone that openeth up a way and a way and a way. The high soul climbs the highway and the low soul gropes to low. And then between on misty flats the rest drift to and fro, but to each one there openeth up a highway and a low, and each one must decide the way his soul would go. I hope that you will find your magnificent obsession. I hope that something will so captivate your attention and your imagination that you will spend sleepless nights working on it. Not just to get richer, but to make the world better. I hope that if you encounter a mountain, you'll climb it. A river, you'll cross it. A dream, you'll pursue it. A vision, you'll do it. A bad habit, you'll break it. A handicap, you'll overcome it. A testimony, you'll tell it. A book, you'll write it. A sermon, you'll preach it. I hope you have a vote and you will cast it, that you will make sure that your voice is heard in this grand experiment called America. And together we'll stand up in the spirit and fulfillment of those three great words that are not just the first three words of the Constitution, but they are the American creed. We the people. Red, yellow, brown, black, and white. We the people, Jews and Christians and Muslims and Hindus and those who claim no particular faith tradition at all. We the people will stand together and ensure that the 21st century, like the 20th century, is the American century, and we will make the world safe for all of God's children. God bless you. Keep the faith and keep looking up.
Thank you, Senator. We now come to the time you've been waiting for, the conferring of your degrees. Now, you're going to walk through this stage, which represents the culmination of a great deal of hard work. It's an incredible achievement. So here are some instructions. After you receive your on-stage recognition, I want you to return to your seat for two important reasons. One is that you show your fellow students the same respect they have given you. The second one is that when everybody's done walking through the stage, I will pronounce some magic words that will make your degree official. If you have left this room when I say those words, I cannot guarantee what will happen to your degree. No one has dared challenge that, so don't be the first one, okay? Now I'm pleased to welcome our Provost, Rahim Bia, who will introduce the academic deans by college, and the deans in turn will present the degree candidates. Rahim?
Dean Vivek Sarkar will present the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Computing.
Candidates for Bachelor of Science degrees in the College of Computing, please rise. And this is for real now. And yes, and cheer as loudly as you can. And let's everyone join in cheering these awesome, awesome graduates. President Cabrera, I have the honor of presenting to you these exceptional candidates for Bachelor of Science degrees who have completed the requirements for these degrees. They are the most innovative, technology-driven, entrepreneurial, socially responsible, and often nocturnal individuals who have demonstrated unparalleled dedication in completing the rigorous requirements of a bachelor's degree from the College of Computing. They will do us proud and change the game in our brave new world of computing and AI.
Adam Boamrani. Julia Eugene Park. Rohan Natanj Bafna. Pranav Aluru. Henry DeBolt Arnold. Dennis Hantman. Jonathan Van Lay. Austin Jefferson Huguenard. Maheen Irfan Khan. Vu Nguyen. David Scott Tran. Raymond Bien. Joseph Robert Urso. Soham Agarwal. Semi Salam. Rashad Abdurasulov. Rustam Jumajanov. Byung-Kyu Kim. Aaron Fan. Elliot Huang. Pranav Sairam Kondapalli. Carlos Javier Suarez Barrera. Jacob Yu. Hugh Yoon. Adam Khalil. Kaiser Ibrahim Kaja. Arshea Gorov. Miles Joseph Sloan. Tiberius James Kalina. Michelle Angelina Ponce. Grace Shao. En Yoon. Vivian Nye. Carly Yin. Ruby Yu. Gandon Fung. Connor Edward Case. Sean Pang. Ivan Mukin. Oluwatimi John Omatesho. Betre Tezera. Karsten Allen Richardson. James Timothy Howard. Raymond Young. Aryaman Agarwal. Vanya Munjar. Isabella Firdos Jamal. Kirti Gurisankar. River Faith Pease. Xavier Charles Arnold. Channing Kirkwood Gaddy. Ruth Bikalu Minda. Ariane Mayhew. Natalie Andrea Joseph. Chelsea Adrian Manning. Cliff Mingzi Lin. Rishab Kanodia. Aryika Kumar. Tanmay Gupta. Kevin Joshua Shan. Nicola Cow. Sarvesh Gade. Urnav Patel. Harshit Puttipati. David Michael Serrao. Wyatt Douglas Bunch. Harish Vishwa. Vivek Vikas Darji. Bachal Regmi. Aryan Shilpan Patel. Heron Win, Tyler T, Eris Scooter, Yul Kim, Sujay Nair, Luis Leo Lee, Mateo Rodriguez Garcia, Santiago Nicholas Day Grandchant, Gustavo Garfias Garcia, Jackie Burstein Twaishi, Andrew Stephen Boyer, Ben Zvolenik, Devin Kelly Fromond, Jack Tyler Seal, Brandon Ian Kim, Ekta Raj, Tanya Singh, Mina Meged Dos, Daniel Minha Lee, Terrence Malivong, Nicholas Cheuk Chang, Kamran Khan, Nicole Lee, Ruby J. Kim, Genevieve Lou Trainer, Lily Wren, Christina Shi, Jason Mo, Jonathan Run Hong Tong, Stephen Howe, George Stanley Monroe Corbin, Pranav Jyothi, Manlu Chen, Emma Riley Warren, Pranav Kadakodi, Rit Muliashia, Jason Lin, Namesh Mamidapali, Ria Ajay Kaimal, Shreya Homapriya Devaraju, Rohit Dudala, Shan Patel, Nisarg Minesh Patel,
Haik Arsenyan,
Jade Lingineni, Nicholas Ginak, Joy Seaton Zwiernikowski, Harsh Prem Bhagat, Nivetha Sivakumar, Monia Samantha Hossain, Sarayu Reddy Vadyala, Saumya Krithivasan, Kion Sanavandi, Daniel Salles Late, Valentina Alves de Aquino Garcia, João Pedro Amaral, Thomas Filshill, Nicolas Barbosa de Souza, James Edward Lopez Camerite, Andre Hiroshi Koga, Xavier Abby Teofisto Genio, Isaiah Julian Basas Nogal, Harshita Kazanchi, Genesis Yilin Fu, Michelle Nga Ngo, Joshua Kobe Watkins, Jiwon Sarah Koo, Ryan Pham, Alyssa Jaden Johnson, Yun So Young, Henry Jiang, Margaret Song, Yixin Wei, Nirvan Adapa, Aryan Garg, Krish Mathur, Manasa Gola, Shaunak Rajiv Karnik, Data Kansal, Suraj Mehrotra, Abhinay Prabhuraj, Sai Chimbili, Aryan Singh, Sachank Bachu, Trinayan Hariharan, Varun Yeluru, Aditya Simhadri, Mackenzie Elizabeth Williams, Sungyeon Joanne Park, Ridwan Idrisu, Diego Alba, Pranav Kalambur Viswanath, Sanjay Joseph Jacob, Joseph Bernard Britt III, Dave U. Day, Roderick Sherard Parson II, Ashu Gupta, Dave Sharma, Omanch Bainsla, Akshar Ravichandran, Anish Bandari, Andrea Joanna Hassenbein, Hanyun Huang, Abhinaya Karthana, Karina Jo Goldsmith,
Nina Nguyen,
Rocco Garcia, Rethika Ambalam, Andrew Michael Hamby, Lauren Yang Ji, Lucian Candle Tash, Jack Anderson Haley, Isaac Song, Archie Goli, Jessica Maching Osborne, Sartak Bhatia, Pragya Badani, Smerab Hatia, Kathy Huing Tran, Prajval Manivanan, Owen Christopher Sig, Om Rajpal, Brandon Jarrett Michaels, Grady Gillum, Noah Asher Martin, Ruby Shu Claudia S. Kim, Oscar Johan Per Bringle, Tony Nassar Tannery, Ishan Dawan, Will Michael Parrish, Sebastian Tyler Morgenstern, Adrish Carr, Gerald Deng Lu, Advai Pupesh Balakrishnan, Aditi Kurat Palikar, Pooja Saji, Yusuf Kazimzadeh, Pranay Madhureddy, Shreyas Gadagi, Andrew Sung Win, Arnav Tripathi, Surya Anand, Vikrant Belamkonda, Ananya Jain, Srimai Jaganathan, Samra Sabi Khan, Tejasvi Damtu, Reva Hajarnes, Sachi Sheila Kataria, Shreya Mahesh, Madeline Simpson, Sahiti Andhavarapu, Druvitha Lokasani, Arya Rajesh Panushali, Sanjana Wadwani, Tanishka Kachi, Agnes Chaco, Tejas Kari, Michael Yusung Yim, Elias Lind, Simi Chloe Sharma, Mason Lewis Miller, Samuel Reynolds Nelson, Matthew Wolfgang Matthias, Wesley Ray Rodriguez, Dev Amlani, Ritvik Knagaram, Abigail Marks, Shrikar Irinki, Michael Jang, Joshua Kurian Thomas, Ayush Chattopadhyay, Aryan Suhas Deshpande, Ishan Aziz Ali, Taylor Sienna West, Videsh Yadlapalli, Alessandro Ferrari, Alexander Norman Frawley, Dylan Patrick Kelly, Soham Joshi, Parker Brian Huntley, Dia Kaimal, Nalini Dutt, Kripa Kanan, Samai Desai, Philippos Kotsakos, Dairya Nirav Patel, Draksha Govind, Sneha Jaiswal, Anika Garikipati, Isha Singh, Jalen Clark McDonald, David Wang Pang, Akshaya Arun, Max Kushnirek, Arnav Monalkar, Akshaj Evuru, Samir Jivangakar, Ethan Christopher Gutierrez, Hunter Rai Cooperman, Luke Caleb Dean, Benjamin Marek Monig, Tristan Jeremiah Thakur, Joseph Michael Kazulas, Alexandra Lee Spadafino, Bianca J. Raman, Jesslyn Guo, Chloe Junhee Park, Tenley Willow Paul, Chloe Magdalena Nicola, Zeus Alejandro Polanco Salgado, Jaden Hamer, Roshni Saisri Daruvuri, Nitya Bala, Advait Sepuri, Ankit Roy, Hyokjin Jin, Yushin Chen, Parul Methi, Avai Raj Dawadi, Surya Senthil Kumar, Vipha Guru, Saloni Jain, Enkeon Yelu Francis Enquanta, Seth Anthony Wright, Silas Ropp, Sammy Musa, Trent William Doiron, Nikita Rao, Abigail G, Needy Jane, Kishan M. Patel, Aditya Bajoria, Ayush Garat, Huzaifa Pardawala, Laksh Khatri, Rohan Bahasin, Siddhant Agarwal, Shrey Gupta, Anvesha Mongia, Krish Gangaraju, Shaswat Dakal, Areta Naushad, Jia Bhatia, Diane Hong, Joshua Patrick Forden, Jenna Park, Christy Lin, Natalie Joyce Kuo, Millie Zhang, Tanvi Singhal, Anya Sharif, Shreya Sasmal, Arzeen Hiba Ahmed, Ali Muhammad Adis, Vedansh Arya, Ishan Goswami, Kishan Nilesh Patel, Daniel Shinin, Sahil Samar, Vincent Vinsan Tran, Alina Zafar Khan, Obina Daniel Nwachukwu, Tarun Krishna Ramji, Ethan Lu Yu Tang, Akila Katkuri, Veda Satvika Vundela, Noor Hassan, Christine Yeon Lee, Danielle Yu, Brandon Joe Ye, Abhay Ashok, Alexander Hu, Thomas Wang, Kenny Sao,
Dylan Chatterjee,
Eric Yang Lin, Brian Park, Sarah Ann George, Gail Wangoy Kinyua, Kirthi Veeramachaneni, Misri Pravinchandra Dhanani, Subhasini Udyakumar, Ananya P. Shetty, Sam Kim, Arya Doshi, Surya Rajinikanth, Atharva Beeson, Nihar Charagula, Chan Min Lee, Riley Brent Oliver, Spencer Borg, Kia Nicole Temple, Tom Thail Thomas, Kai Alexander Hackney, Dylan Chen, Pranav Narala, Mrinal Jain, Arav Sharma, Bradley Quinn Miller, Charlie Jaming Jin, Hadi Syed, Zain Gazanfar, Nihal Nizam, Aditya Devarapalli, Venkat Sai Shreyas Arisa, Vignesh Suresh Kumar, Ashwin Jayendra, Connor Wyke Smith, Cameron Joseph Quadagno, Anna Valerievna Kamenskaya, Alexa Catherine Shoup, Danielle Arias, Rishab Paruchuri, Utkarsh Kumar Bansal, Song Yuen Liu, Amy Chen, Abner Lords Noel, Krishna Ravi Shankar, Akrishna Kumar, Amrita Pramod, Simona Ivanov, Mehul Rao, Christopher Liu, Aditya Peruvemba, Anshul Makwana, Aditya Tagore, Aditya Sharma, Niranjan Deepak, Akhil Kamila, Yijin Zhang, Yusuan Lee, Aryan Bhatia, Kaundinya Pami, Harshavardhan Jayakumar,
Charles Evan Fix,
Venusha Bhuvaneka, Aritra Saha, Sahit Mamidipaka, Anshul Tripathi, Sahil Apurva Patel, Meghna Kocherlakota, Chandini Kalidindi, Ansh Gupta, Devin Ozan Burke, Alvin Huang Anlai, Jinho Lee,
Julius Broomfield,
Anaika Tiagi, Michelle Wei Liang, Tessa Orozco, Amin H.R. Tehrani, Sumukh Paspuleti, Anand Singh, Arjun Singh Pamra, Bereket Fikru Yosef, Arthur M. Reichert, Ethan Khan, Ian Joseph Abu Samra, Vivek Boom, Long Huang Lam, Dhruv Patel, Joel Jenny Koshe, Nicholas G. Porterfield, Adam Doyle McAndrews, Anirudh Sanjay Kaulagi, Jaishnav Vijayakumar, Aswin Nanda Mathana Kumaran, Tanai Rajkumar, Mwenda George Mbui, Lucas Hunter Goldfarb, Vijay Damineni, Sanat Danyam Raju, Tommy Tran, Ava Noruzinia, Baran Abbasi, Kayla Marie Verde Flor, Nicholas Barron Stone, Yuanda Liu, Brian Lee Shook, Eugene Dongjun Lee, Kevin Lin, Chungman Kim, Kelly Collier IV, Justin Selassie Ai, Christopher Castaneda, Jiwon Lee, Kwa Win, Kwa Kanbui, Vinayak Ramasubramanian, Jonathan Song Chung, Cameron Richard Groler, Alexandra Win Lee, Fahim Farouk Jivani, Kwan Wu Lee, Taimur Gadzhiev, Joshua Hudson Blackmon, Yue Xue, Zixiang Lin, Devin Tal Gandhi, Joseph Seo, Wesley Jaewon Jong, Turan Yalin Selik, Jordan Rashard Madison, Jerry Yining Wang, Javad Aslanov, Varshith Cheka, Ridwan Alam, Joanna Andrews, Vijay Shastri, Eduardo James Valverde, Amit B. Shetty, Lauren Caroline Wagner, Shivani Vora, Peter Ayodeji Aimasiko, Andrew Charles Burgess, Nathan Alexander Papa, William Sugden, James Gao, Gabriel Ferrer, Alan Jang, William Henry Shaw, Emmanuel Benyam Ayalu, Christopher Blanchard Linder Jr., Alisa Petrusinskaya, Ahmed Hamdi Mohammed, Sneha Jaiswal, Anika Garikipati, Isha Singh, Sarah Islam, Heat Shah, Jocelyn Shao Her Ho, Flavio Irani, Eleanor Bouvel Mather, Grace Elizabeth Morgan, Yu Chen Han, Yushuan Liang, Daniel A. Young Chi, Michael Yi, Suraj Chandra Samudrala, Calvin Huang, Ritwik Reddy Katla, Andrew Lee, Davis Clark, Darshan Singh, Siddharth Chilavuri, Emre Altman, Tehut Andagachu, Arrington Carriel Goss, Janice Ruth Bowling, Liam Smith, Evan Means, Atharva Prashant Wakar, Joshua Francis George, Cian Thomas, Benito Carcata, Derek Joseph Kotupelli, Hugh Vu, Aiden Chiang, Micah Anthony Reeves, Alistair Charity C.J. Tarver, Leo Jiang, Dui Win Pham, Siddharth Lohani, Alind Kurin Tiagi, Brandon Lee Parker, Timotheus Justice Amir James, Angela Abrafi Duodu, Ikenna Paul Okoro, Geraldine Clement, Yuzu Lee, Sujoy Chakravarti, Tanmay Yogesh Joshi, Samit Kinvasara, Benson Lin, Ryan Tran Don, Christian Juan O, Shiwan Yang, Selena Wu, Edison Lee, Patricia Rumyantseva, Cole Fitzhenry, Pranay Prasanna, Pranav Kutupati, Varun Sai Kodithala, David Manohar Nutaki, Kritsanjay Raju, Ethan Seong Lee, Philip Stefan Fanthurath, Rohit Prasanna, Siddhant Srivastav, Andres Quast, Than Jia Treen, Rishi Sone, Siddharth Subbarao, Elliot Lee, Kenny Wynn, Javier Antonio Rodriguez, Feiyang Si, John Thomas Summer, Dairu Glenn Dubbo Hardin, Kelly Zhao, Alexander Chukwuemeka Ajagba, Max Owen Edmonds, Kenneth John Suda, Nitish Sabapathy, Anisha Yogesh Sadhale, Divya Ramaswamy, Claire Roberta Cotter, Rebecca Anna Sun, Ananya Garg, Sanjana Kola, Connor Wyatt, Dubem Nuisubo, George Odanim Imarhia, David Ha Andrews, Tanush Prathi, Ishita Jain, Erica Megan Tay, Ying Tzu Chen, Catherine Ying Wang, Ritvik Ganta, Vignesh Krishna Minjur, Aman Binu Kasim, Yuvraut, Siddharth Reddy Pasula, Samika Ranjan, Jeet Tushar Bhatkar, Govind Kandelwal, Veda Gavinola, Yashman Pratap Singh, Arav Yadav, Kevin Tang, Noah Carter Kirshner, Carson Ben Wolf, Aidan Michael Rose, Sishnu Keshav Balamurali, Abigail Susan Ray, Aras Sherwan, Braylon Garcia, Tanay Shrivastava, Prajwal Anand Saukar, Akshat Bagde, Aryan Jadhav, Pranav Kamlesh Tawale, Megan Michelle Markert, Kirat Dylan Rahman, Annika Patel, Ronoyoy Dutta, John Pham, Tarun Ravi Kumar, Sanjay Guru Ramesh, Luke Hammond, Aryaman Singh, Molly Grace Butler, Andrew Wong, Alexander Charles Gualino, Neha Ravinutala, Jason Sungjin Park, Nirban Balagamwala, Hiba Imran Merchant, Alexander Hovland, Lindsay Yee, Vaishnavi Bala, Stacy Brian Rayming Lee, Joel Shiryu Mao, Ayush Sai Narayan, Samuel Montgomery Marshall, Claire Elizabeth Smiley, Maria Jane Trochi, Kai Nyat Chan, James Ragazzino, Christian Scott Richards, Aiden Min Kong Nguyen, Ethan Kim,
Rohit Vivek,
Mokshith Reddy Manuru, Inyong Park, Winnie Jang, Sanjana Chaudhary Surapaneni, Lily Ann Fisher, Sophia Dumont, Abigail Martin, Hannah Xiao, Ritika Kalyanakoti, Sagarika Srinivasan, Anushri Rawal, Xiao Yanggu, Grace Wang, Zhang Yue Lucille Zhu, Arya Singh, Raymond Zheng, Abdulaziz Mansour Alajlan, Felix Wang, Yurun Zhu, Saketh Yedula Sai Reddy, Krushe Bhavsar, Kirthi Kashyap, Ayush Agarwal, Joseph Carl Hanna, Kate Su In Jong, Ria Saravanan, Mei Lintsai Chen, Srihasa Penchikala, Shanmati Gunasekaran, Bhumi Kotharkar, Daniel Hunjun Kim, Alexander Santi,
Trisha Natalia,
Phil Carter Bay Tusi, Amulya Reddy Panakam, Mugda Jayant Daftardar, Shreya Tangjirala, Anushka Arun, Lucy Catherine Scott, Summer Lori Abramson, Joanne Maria Gosal, Akshar Patel, Jay Shashikant Patel, Eleanor Megan Moore, Neha Nivedita Balaji, Prisha Yashashweni Valamseti, Kavya Menon, Priya Nicole Anna Peretti, Zuyan Arif Ishani, Pranav Manivanan, Nitya Reddy Yamjala, Anne Trang Nguyen, Jinhee Chang, Tiffany Lee, Vic Wong, Neil Dave, Yulin Liu, Vikrant Talwar, Mose Kim, Nathan Lin, Ignacio Galindo, Matthew Thomas Dworkin, Neha Shirish Shambag, Natasha Maya Narayanan, Nikita Agnihotri, Ashna Kasireddy, Hee Min Lei, Jacob Truong, Paris Tran, David Lee Martin, Arvin Trong Dean, Tony Kim, Mikhail Titov, Mahir Deepak Jain, Elijah Orion Tar, Victor Julian Kramer, Man Kao Win, Austin James McGregor, Shreya Kapagantula, Olivia Lynn Clemmer, Lillian Grace Lahamadu, Gabriella Reese Lewis, Jonathan Liang, Ganning Shu, Michael Yuazuo, Nyabura Jenga, Nimai Patel, Rikitha Nona, Maria Jyotish, Angelina Yanshuan Jo, Summer Noelani McRoy, Darren Tan, Robert Caleb Jones, Christopher Wayne Hyde, Albert K. Wynn, Paula Deborah Eligwu, Carla Marie de Jesus, Ariana Sofia Matos Cruz, Michelle Moise, Bailey Jean Francis, Anaya Nicole Pauling, Rick Wynn, Dylan Levine, Ashfik Jawad Islam, Atharv Elamsinthil, Rishi J. Manimaran, Jihoon Ethan Kim, Esteban Maraboli, Sharon Lee, Tyler Preston Wallace, Alex Ju Sung Kim, Daniel Martin Lee, Andui Nguyen Ha, Rupesh C. Tharaman, Akhil Sai Eugenia, Shri Vamsi Krishna Puti, Mega Suresh, Arnav Sawant, Gregor Martin Avgustin, Adrian Kalish, Richard Fook Lok Win, Krishan Manoj Wadhwani, Sang Yoon Kim, Kellen Madigan, Sahir Shaikh, Adi Kata, Harsha Vegiraju, Nikhil Vijay Vergaya, Arya Sharma, Pranav Reddy Devarinti, Dhruv Sureka, Surya Arvind Subramanian, Jason Jian Lai, Lauren Ann Schmidt, Zain Lalani, Jesse Chen, Yu Chen, Alan Tian, Brahma Aulia Yudhishthira, Archita Manasvi, Arnav Reddy Ganga, Hardik Kolisetti, Akanksh Bandaru, Aryan Chokshi, Prayas Joshi, Samuel Robert Miller, Jerry Chen Song, Amar Hamasagar, Richard Noah Green, Hudson Nguyen, Colin Hao Vu, Tianqin Yu, Tian Hong Yang, Amin Akbaria, Nikita Agarwal, Svabhu Govindaraj, Rishab Kaluri, Muhammad Yahya Yusuf, Arel Ozen, Manas Baraya, Naman Goyal, Sri Krishna Sashank Tadimeti, Arjun Manian, Pranav Nanda Kumar, Rithvik Venkata Madapali, Likia Adari, Andrew Kaminer, Shreyas Upadhyayula, Tanush Chopra, Ming Kuan Yan, Nikhil Kumar Kandala, Benjamin Ronald Hellman, Chandler Chai Payne, Cade Richard, Boris Kodapuli, Jason Lee, Anish Lodh, Saksham Bardwaj, Jackson Lucas Neurotter, Birmat Talent Bekoa, Natalie Ajamian, Connor Mason Wright, Curtis Wenyuan Sao, Dhruv Saxena, Jackson Lee,
Alex Cranius,
Sangmin Lee, Taho Kim, Dong Kyun Lim, Venkatesan Sundar, Leo Zhang, Andy Van Vo, Aryan J. Thakar, Rishi Bapanad, Soham Pakti, Arjun Shrivas Janakiraman, Prabhav Agrawal, Shrestha Chetan Mahurkar, Tisha Thakur, Daphne Kai, Anvi Reddy Bejanki, Michael Joseph Vaden Jr., Jack David Warren, Hitanshu Jyotirjani, Jayanth Venam Reddy, Venkat Sai Rohan Gandham, Rohit Prakash Gogi, Krish Sharma, Harish Tirumalai, Aryak Nath Sinha, Carter Mickey, Prasoon Banerjee, Nihi Yan Win, Mai Vu Hanpung, Anaya Janae Basi, Minjae Kim, Swastik Samantha, Alexander Han Wang, Joshua Wong, Krish Kataria, Aaron Min Trin, Jason Jang, Ethan Michael Sadler, Logan Tao, Ewuresi Iyana Amu Adare, Melody Sie, Sophia Ho, Tony Quinn, Aaron Conchita Tan, Ethan Liang, Wilson Chen, Brian Jinsa Oak, Sharada Gantasala, Anish Chiraku, Dev Ashok Patel, Barktan Tunchtan, Emmanuel Golden, Joshua Arnold Sampson, Yaman Bora Akbas, Darnell Chen, Nikhil Corbett Karkare, Nikos Ray Verlenden, Harun Shaikh,
Adam Twasan Grossberg.
Michael Armand Vega, Samantha Shea Karotzi, Sarem Mesfen Taye, Nathan Dong, Shimisola Oshikanlu, George Murphy Karanteng Jr., Doreen Elibokun Igieobo, David Ding Zhao, Brian Aliskair Guzman, Uguna Emenike, Kushal Raju Palasamudrum, Minkun Lei, Olumide Sonuga, David Oluwole Gabriel, Ethan Hyung Ju Lee, Rana Muhammad Mehtab Nasir, Zuhair Al-Araf, Syed Hamza Kadri, Benjamin Carter Sharest, Aryan Roy, Arthur Yao, Arihant Birani, Adyant Mishra, Unsh Nikhil Gadodia,
Dean Amanda Murdy will present the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts.
Hello. Candidates for Bachelor of Science degrees in Ivan Allen College of Liberal Arts, I know per capita you can outlast and out-yell the other colleges here, so please rise and cheer. Yes. President Cabrera, the Ivan Allen College equips students with foundational, timeless expertise in the humanities and social sciences. Our graduates leave Georgia Tech with the Ivan Allen advantage, combining human insight with technological fluency in ways that uniquely prepare them to lead businesses, governments, and nonprofit organizations in our rapidly changing world. I am honored to present these proud graduates.
Isabella Talisa Smalls, Ital Lopuyo, Charity Mackenzie Dawson, Rachel Bowie, Sonia Kamari Nyan Taylor, Shelby Leanne Carter, Lila Marie Parker, Nicholas H. Demakis, Terrence J. Fernandez Jr., Kennedy Janelle McKay, Haley Elise Armour, Lydia Claire Love, Robin Lisa Blackman, Aaron Michael Cross, Melody Gabriela Lopez, Jefferson Benjamin Edge, Liberty Ann Wynn, Sebastian Andres Ortiz Sepulveda, Sydney Elaine Gordon, Bess Yael Fader, Caroline Joyce Stanford, Lee Pascal Johnson, Naya Lucia Oscar Smith, Anna Grace Borisiak, Rita Marani, Nidhi Reddy, Cameron Scott Lancaster, Kaylin Mildred Grimes, Ananda Haralela, Ralston Kennedy Welch, Francesca Louise Bennett Rue, Subin Choi, Abigail Sarah Matthews, Jordan Marie Thibault, Atticus Hall Barrett, Bailey Shea Aiken, April Dawn Clark, Iris Elizabeth Albritton Allgrove, Daniel Bruce Holman, Elia Patricia Chance, Grace Elizabeth Myers, Murphy Elizabeth Jordan, Adeline Chapin DM, Raylan Lachey Bailey, Mary Michaela Pittman, Ruth McKnight Wade, Allison Elaine Eltz, Grace Lankin, Samuel Brooks Barnett, Julia Elizabeth Artigue, Victoria Celadon Garcia, Dhruv Kulkarni, Emma Zhang, Kira Isabel Stillwagon, Elise Victoria Barker, Aubrey Cameron Ward, Abigail Kieran Gould, Jordan Matthew Green, Lily Ott, Jasmine Nikki Akavan, Jayant Raj Joshi, Luis Angel Salazar, Samuel Bernard Gilstrap, Lillian Stafford Beatty, Morgan Lee Lockett, Dominique Grace Hernandez, Josie Rebecca Bailey Kwan, Chase Sumner Dow, Jack Salvatore Elliott, Tobias Danielle Russell, Parker Landrum Bell, Camille Onwerts, Lillian Marie Ayala, Adriana Alexi Benjamin, Jasmine Lopez Sandoval, Sydney Francis Heaton, Ramin Salman, Leah Pfaff, Catherine Llorente Gemmel, Ryan Joseph Eiler, Blaine Alexander Branch, Hunter James Manning, Isha Venkat, Lamar Washington, Natalie Rachel Howlett, Madeline Rosanna Dunn, Rebecca Fishman, Margaret Way, Rotem Kani, Navya Gupta, Isabel Crosby, Mateo Neil Fry Rubio,
Charisma Shreya Nalamali,
Tahir Siddiq, Sabina Ellen Merjigwood, Benjamin Michael Gerhardt, Cordelia Rose Tranfield, Oluwatomi Oladeji, Kindle Elizabeth Burns, Tanaya Johnson, Constantine Sebastian Accente, Mackenzie Rose King, Emily Jordan Glover, Naya Patel, Suhani Mahajan, Natalia Inez Alvarez Rodriguez, Hannah Michaela Ortiz Luis Deogracias, Ritika Vimla Bardwaj, Lauren Elizabeth Arant, Grace Catherine Marie Osborne, Sharuk Mohammed Othman, Alexa Veronica Bowman Olai, Elizabeth Page Parsons, Rose Elizabeth Gavin, Sarah Conley Harper, Anushka Gandotra, Mary Romano, Hannah Elizabeth Creedon, Samuel Grass, Anna Lawton Stober, Ricardo Chauncey Blankson, Alex Yang, Kaivalya Somayajula, Jacob Thaddeus Ricks, Owen Christopher Miller, Malisha Susanna Rahman, Anthony Lei Shu, Knox Lingenfelter, Daniel Hall Cohane, Robert Brett Barfield, Alexander Doan, Sonika Tank, Junyoung Park, Tate Greist Johnson, Zara Elizabeth Vaughn, Amina Eldashori, Haley Danai Lamkin, Victoria Ama Okon, Egbe Kathy Tabe Ebab, Jupiter Bryant,
This is that, right? All right. As promised, let's make this official. Will all graduates please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Georgia Institute of Technology, by authority of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I now confer upon each of you the degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Graduates, to symbolize your achievement, you may now move, this is your last assignment, your tassel, I know you can do this, from the right to the left. Please join me in congratulating this impressive new graduates. Congratulations. May I ask that the graduates remain standing as our party recesses, then I invite all of you to join the chamber choir to sing the greatest fight song of all time, the Ramblin' Wreck. Please remain in your seats until the conclusion of the fight song. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of an engineer. To all the jolly good fellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. And if I had a daughter, sir, I'd dress her in white and gold and put her on the campus to cheer the brave and bold. And if I had a son, sir, I'd tell you what he'd do. He would yell, "To hell with Georgia!" like his daddy used to do. And if I had a barrel of rum and sugar 3,000 pounds, a college bell to put it in and clap it around. I drink to all the good fellows who come from far and near. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer! Hey! I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of an engineer. Like all the jolly good fellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. Well, if I had a daughter, sir, I'd dress her in white and gold and put her on the campus to cheer the brave and bold. Well, if I had a son, sir, I'd tell you what he'd do. He would yell, "To hell with Georgia!" like his daddy used to do. I wish I had a barrel of rum and sugar 3,000 pounds, a college bell to put it in and clap it around. I drink to all good fellows who come from far and near. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer. Hey!
Thank you for attending Georgia Tech Commencement. Guests, please meet your graduates outside the building.